positive reason. Everything has a reason. You understand what I'm saying? And reason means intelligence. All right, so next slide. Uh-oh. The etymological and literal meaning of the word reason is the son of Re and the son of Ra. All right? So what that means, okay, here we go. Sorry. Of course, Ra and Re are the names of the sun and sun god. And the sons of the universes of nature are indeed the sources of the universe reason, because the fact is their brains located in their centers produce universe and nature mind, reason, sun gods, and sun goddesses. If you go back into ancient Egypt, or Africa rather, because I can't just denote everything to Egypt, because Africa is, you know, a whole continent. This whole thing right here is Africa. Even this aspect right here. That'll be a whole nother day. I'll explain to you guys why this part is Africa as well. But everything was done right here. So the sun god, Re and Ra, which are actually the same thing, they are the physical representations of the suns, right? And they were considered to be the most intelligent at what they do, because the sun is considered to be the most intelligent in this particular realm, all right? Because of the sun, nothing would exist. If the sun goes out, nothing would exist. You wouldn't have any plants, you won't have any human beings, you won't have anything of that sort. So the sun sends electromagnetic energy or light, which is intelligence, to plants, you know, animals. Every living thing on this planet is a result of the sun. This planet would not exist if it weren't for the sun. All right? And its brain is located in its center. The same way the center of your head is where your brain is located, and the center of these orbs is where you'll find the hottest point. Your brain is also an electric entity. It gives off electric impulse. If you connect, they do this study now where they connect your brain to certain machines and monitors, and they say that your brain uses about 20% of your body's energy, which is a lot. It's the organ that uses the most electromagnetic energy in your body, and that is related to the sun, because the sun uses some of the most electromagnetic energy of the solar system. But let's go to the next slide. All right. The real and scientific and philosophical meaning of the word reason is the intellect, best mind, and intelligence of absolute, infinite, eternal nature, and the mental spirit creator of all persons, places, and things, natural and artificial. So reason, which is the intelligence, is basically what created everything. You understand? And that light or spirit that comes from the sun is the creator. You understand? The sun is the creator, but the light also that comes from it also creates. All right? Next slide. Oh man, she got all these little trees and stuff. This is nice. Reason is the natural ether energy produced by brain concentration as brain newts. Now, this is a word that you probably never seen before, but brain newts are actually, in the science that I study, are actually atoms. All right? So when you see the word brain newts, it means atoms. Okay? Produced by brain concentration as brain newts. Because the thing about it is, in this particular society, you have to understand that the powers that be that created this culture had to remove the element of knowing certain things in order to impose their will upon us. So certain terms and words had to be removed for us to be in the state that we're in. So a word like atom, you'll just pass it off like an atom is not a part of what I got going on. I don't care about that. You understand? But when you see a word like brain newts, you're like, whoa. Then you start to understand that brain newts would mean that these are intelligent things that know what to do whenever a certain condition takes place. You understand what I'm saying? So everything doesn't happen by reason. It's an intelligent force that causes these things to happen by reason. All right? So the prime mover in matter, meltdown. If you go into the scientific aspect of things, you'll understand that meltdown brain newts melt down, which are atoms. So what happens is electrons meet a state of where they actually heat up and then they go down. It's called, I forgot what the scientific term is, but nothing moves unless an electron moves. If an electron leaves an atom, it's a whole nother atom. I don't know if you guys know a lot about chemistry and things like that, but if an electron leaves an atom, that whole atom changes. You understand? The same way, you know, you would liken an electron to like a woman. If a woman leaves your space, that whole thing is changed. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what it would actually boil down to. So about, let me see, meltdown, C-top is about brain news. This is actually part of the book. I took part of the book that I studied and I put it in here. Reason is the mind and mental spirit produced by brain concentration. See, we got a nice little brain right here. She done, you know what I'm saying? She done spiced my thing up.
2 hemispheres of the brain. Right?
That's right. Next slide. All right. So, sound right reason is that. Oh,
Sorry.
you gotta go back. All right. Sound right reason in this active state is the creator, inspirator, and revelator of the correct information given in this presentation. Next slide. So, its law of nature should be known from the start. The law of reason avers being the creative energy and the best mind of the one supreme being known as infinite, eternal, absolute nature. The naturally concentrated ether energy called reason creates all persons, places, and things by the work of the laws of nature in space and time, while attracting other matter in which reason thinks every logical thought, states every logical word that is written or spoken or signaled, and performs every reasonable work or activity that is rationally done in the process and progresses of the sciences of life and death. The same way each time that conditions are the same, in keeping with the nature of nature by the way of nature cycles in season. So basically, what this is saying is that reason is the creative energy. It's intelligence. Nothing moves without intelligence and reason. Our ancestors were considered so great because they were intelligent. They built pyramids that they still can't figure out how we built till this day. As Dr. Jeffries just said, they took 2.1 million blocks to build the Great Pyramid, right? On top of that, they don't know how they lift them to get there. But our ancestors used their intelligence and their mind to the point where the Caucasian still doesn't know. He can guess, he can try to figure it out, but he still doesn't know. How in the world did they do this? You understand? And it was so intricate. I've never been there, but I've heard of stories where they walk in one side, right? And you think you could go back the other way, and you like, whoa, this is a whole nother direction. You understand? So it was intricately built. And the only way that you can do this is by using your mind and using reason.
Yeah, I wanted to add too for those who didn't know. I don't want to take over my
No.
But if you read what he just said, Afro Umu actually was just updating when the ancients talking about Ra was thinking to himself and he created from himself. This is what this is saying. It's an actual upgrade of how the ancients was speaking about how the sun created. And in our science, it teaches us that the suns, all the suns in the universes are self-created and that they are intelligent. And so what we're experiencing here with the nature of nature is actually giving you an updated term so we can understand what the ancients meant. And that's what it was. So they knew that the sun or Ra or Re was an actual brain that we call scientifically gas and fire. But all of the orbs in existence are thinking and aware. And this is what the science of Noon is bringing to our people. So when you read that and go back and look at some of the ancients' beginnings and how they talked about creation started, and if you read it with that, it'll bring you up to date instead of taking you to the past and leaving you stuck. Like, because when they translated that, they was like, how can a ball of this do all these things? But if you look at the underlying part of it, it just means that this orb that we call the sun in mundane terms is thinking and alive and very aware. And I just wanted to add that to it.
Beautiful. Can't do it by myself. I told y'all. Next slide. All right. In truth, it is obvious that the law is based upon intelligence, and it means that the energy of creation, inspiration, balance, reality, justice, liberation, mental resurrection, knowledge, understanding, wisdom, unity, concentration, revelation, law, and order is reason. From the beginning of the universes to their ending, and the continuing like this forever, each time the universe of absolute nature exists. Next slide. All right, the proper and scientific name of sound right reason is indeed Nupu. The creation energy reason is intellect, intelligence, revelation, inspiration, and the best mind. In addition, reason is the real creator and the true guide in nature, and it is physical in the forms of its real bodies, the suns, the true stars of the universes. I just want to say this real quick. The reason why our societies and our communities are so separated, and it seems as if black people just can't get along, or we fighting each other or killing each other, is what? It's their intelligence. They've lost their ability to reason in a correct manner, in a right state. So when you see a black person killing another black man, and you see, black people acting out of line, and women, doing things they're not supposed to be doing, it's because they lost their ability to reason. They lost their ability to think clearly and soundly. So we have to get back into thinking clearly and soundly, and understanding that intelligence is the only thing that's going to get us out of this madness that we're living in right now. But we're starting to wake up, because as the sun begins to heat up and start giving off solar flares and things like that, and the reason why I say that is because the sun has to project a certain amount of energy towards the planet, because we are heat and it is heat. It's the reason why our skin is black. That's because the melanin burns the surface of the skin and makes it black. You understand what I'm saying? And that's no disrespect to people who have lighter skin, but blacker skin, right, doesn't necessarily mean that, that you are automatically going to become intelligent, because there's light people that are intelligent as well and able to reason. You understand what I'm saying? But intelligence is the only thing that's going to progress us to the next level. So we just have to understand that I had to define what reason is. And reason is intelligence, and I had to let you guys know that the only way that we can get to the next level is if we do things in an intelligent manner, and this presentation was done by intelligence. Next slide. In other words, a visible creation presupposes, necessitates, and requires a visible creator. The creator reason shows itself in the forms and persons of visible physical suns of the universes of eternal almighty nature. Nobody ever wondered why suns never collided with each other? You ever wondered, like, we in this vast universe, trillions of stars, they never collide with each other. You get a perfect constellation at a certain time of year in which it doesn't move or shake or whatever the case may be, or everything is in divine universe order, which means that the suns know exactly what they're doing at exactly what time they're doing it. You understand what I'm saying? So the suns are intelligent, and they know what they're doing, and they have brains just like we are not the only intelligent beings in the universe. You understand what I'm saying? Plants think too. You understand? They did studies where they try to hurt a plant or burn a plant, and they saw that the plant tried to move away. You understand what I'm saying? Which means that it can feel, it can see, it can touch. It has intelligence to it. Next slide. All right. What is time? Does anybody know what time is? Anybody? What is time? What is time, Makita? What is time?
I forgot.
You forgot? Anybody know what time is? What is time?
Time is the movement of the earth around the world, around the sun.
That's a great answer. That's a great answer. I like that answer. Let's go. Next slide. Next slide. Listen. All right. Listen to reason. Time, by definition, is the continuity of the existence of space and matter. Time is the third member of the existence triad of nature, as expressed in the principles of the natural law in the topic entitled The Laws of Nature by Reason. The law of is the nature of is the purpose of. The purposes of the existence of time are to be the third member of the triad of existence, to be the duration measurer of all, to be the continuity of all, to be the ager of all, to be the everlasting preserver and prime keeper of space and matter, and be the eternity of nature. Now, in smaller terms, basically time just logs events. It lets you know how old you are and things of that nature. I've seen some crazy definitions. Time don't exist. So why are you aging? Why are you getting older if time doesn't exist? You understand? Oh, time is a concept of things. It's impossible for time to be a concept. You understand? I mean, if you want to say it's a concept as far as, you know, it's a thing where, you know, it's actually it's not physical, but it can be law. You understand? So we have to understand that time is constantly going, no matter what. You understand? Long after we're gone, time will continue to exist because time is eternity. You understand? It's just the motion of how things move, like you said, around the sun and things like that, that gives us a logging of what time is. All right? So next. So the law of time reads infinite in all directions, eternal and absolute. The third member of the existence, the triad of nature called time, provides continuity for nature, duration, measurement for nature, is the ager for nature, the endless preserver and prime keeper for nature, and of nature forever. The same way each time that conditions are the same, so does in the unity with eternal space and eternal matter in accord with the nature of nature. Let it be remembered always and let it be known. Next. All of this can be read in the book. If you go to my website, noponoon.com, NOPONOONE, or another website called fine9news.com, you guys can read this in the books. All right? Nature is all, and all is nature, and that is all there is. Time is as perfect as it provides continuity of existence for space and matter, since time is the continuation of both. Basically, as continuity of space and time is constant, but as continuity of matter, time is constant, variant, and changeable. This is important. Time is constant, variant, and changeable, meaning that you can manipulate time. You understand? And we're going to kind of see that in this presentation. In ancient times, the scientists of the Ethiopian race, that's the African race, philosophically identified all space, matter, and time with the sun, earth, and moon of our solar system and personified them as Ta, Atum, and Tahuti, respectively, meaning in the order given. Next. Time is indeed eternal. That is, it never had a beginning and it can never end, because space and matter never had a beginning and likewise can never end. So that means that time is eternal. It can never ever go out of time. You can never run out of time. So if somebody tell you running out of time, you're never running out of time. Time will always be here. You are what is running out. So time doesn't run out. You know, somebody know you running out of time. You got a question?
Yes. So where does time go? Let's say like when the year ends, the day ends, where does that go? Does it recycle?
No. It's always continuing. You understand? You're the one that's aging. The planet's going through seasons and cycles and things like that. But time doesn't age. It's aging you. Understand?
And reporting.
Correct. It's a log of events.
Yeah, and recording.
Let it remember always and let it be known. Next. Look at all this night. Oh, man. I don't know. I don't think y'all understand that. What is a calendar? Does anybody know what a calendar is?
Wait, I know what's a calendar.
What is it, Makita?
That you could write on.
Something you could write on. That's true. Anybody else got another?
Recording of time.
Recording of time, correct. Anybody else?
Recording of measurements.
Correct. You got it. I see you raise your hand. You know it. That's right. So I love the participation of the young people. See that? That's beautiful. Give a hand to them. See, and that means that they're listening.
Yeah.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? That means they're in tune with what's going on. They might be playing with that iPad, but they still listening. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a beautiful thing. They're gonna grow up and they're gonna say, I remember Anoot. You know what I'm saying? When he's putting that presentation together, I'll be old and all, you know, I'm gonna be like, listen, time aged me too. What is a calendar? Next slide. A calendar is a system of organizing cycles of social functions such as important personnel's birthdays and universe activities, religious, spiritual holidays, commercial business.
Sorry.
Next.
Oh, still go next?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. Next.
Sorry.
Nah, it's all good. I know you don't put a lot of flair in it, so we got to get past the flair.
Okay.
Calendar may consist of various cycles within cycles such as years, weeks, months, days, and nights. Next. We got Saturn. All right. There are many different calendars. Oh, I didn't even see that. That's hot. There are many different calendars either based on the moon or the sun in retrospect to the movement of the planet around the sun. That's exactly what Brother Izor said. That's exactly what he said. Next. What's this? Oh, that's Jupiter. Oh, you're nice.
Sorry.
So basically this is the sun and it's showing the rotation of the earth around the sun and also the moon around the sun and also its movement as well around the sun. The sun itself actually, you know, moves as well. Next. Here's some of the popular calendars around the world. You got the Islamic calendar, the Hijra calendar, the Gregorian calendar, the Julian, the Hebrew, the lunar, the solar.